In a stunning setting, nestled deep in the lush valleys of Nepal, there was a charming village. There lived a young man called Rohan, whose uncanny ability to remain calm and composed even in extreme situations made him stand out from everyone in the community. Everyone in the village noticed that Rohan was emotionless, and this intrigued everyone. It was as if Rohan was above the emotional turmoil that affected the hearts of the other villagers. The villagers' curiosity about Rohan's extraordinary emotional balance was palpable. They often asked about the secret behind this remarkable serenity, and Rohan, always with a gentle smile on his lips, replied, "Allow me to share my journey and the teachings that have guided me along this path of emotional serenity. I have learned to control my emotions." Rohan's narrative goes back to the days of his youth, when he, as a fearless adventurer, explored the winding paths of the dense forest that surrounded the village. On one of these explorations, Rohan came across, to his surprise, an elderly monk immersed in deep meditation. Intrigued, Rohan approached the monk unseen and waited in silence, watching him with devotion. It was some time before the monk's eyes opened and he noticed Rohan's latent restlessness. "Young man, I can see that the storms of emotion are stirring you up," said the monk. Rohan nodded humbly, prompting the monk to invite him to sit next to him. There, the monk began to pass on his teachings on the art of emotional control through the practice of mindfulness and self-improvement. The elderly monk began to teach Rohan how to control his emotions, to be calm and composed, and generally to have emotional intelligence. "The practice of mindfulness, young man," said the elder, "helps you to observe thoughts and emotions without judgment and simply acknowledge their presence and let them go." Rohan immersed himself deeply in these teachings, committing himself daily to practicing mindfulness, giving himself over to concentrating on his breathing and the sensations in his body. He learned to be emotionless by detaching himself from his emotions, realizing that they were fleeting and could not truly reflect his inner peace. The elderly monk taught Rohan about empathy, that being emotionless is different from being cold or insensitive, and he could empathize with people even if he was emotionless. So Rohan continued to embrace empathy, helping the villagers with understanding and support. He always listened to the problems of his fellow villagers, offered a helping hand, always full of kindness. His reputation grew, not as someone devoid of emotions, but as someone capable of channeling them in a positive way. Years later, a great storm hit the village, devastating houses and crops. While the villagers were on the brink of despair, Rohan remained serene, offering comfort and leadership. He explained to them that emotions were natural, but it was crucial not to cling to them, understanding their transitory nature. His self-improvement led Rohan to become a wise and quiet young man, advising the villagers. His advice and teaching spread, attracting pilgrims and seekers of wisdom. He became a living legend, guiding and inspiring all who longed to find emotional balance. However, feeling an inner calling to deepen his understanding even further, Rohan set off for a remote monastery high in the mountains. There, under the guidance of a wise master, he delved into the intricate mysteries of the human mind and emotions. Rohan faced his fears and insecurities, realizing that true emotional balance did not come from distancing oneself from one's emotions, but from a deep understanding of oneself. After years of study, he returned to the village transformed, radiating a tangible serenity. He shared his experiences and teachings, guiding the villagers towards self-awareness, empathy and understanding in order to achieve emotional stability. Rohan's story transcended the boundaries of the village, becoming an eternal parable about understanding and embracing emotions not as enemies, but as guides to true inner peace. Its legacy has echoed through the generations, inspiring countless people to walk their own path in search of self-knowledge and emotional balance, transforming not only the village, but also the world around it. Rohan, the young man with a wisdom beyond his years, became a beacon of hope in the heart of Nepal, reminding everyone that true emotional balance lies in understanding and empathy, like huge unchanging mountains amid the shifting currents of life. If you found inspiration in this Zen story, if it echoed in your ears like a meditation song, click on the like button, share it with your friends and leave a comment below with your thoughts or inspirations, and thank you for being inspired by us. Until the next Zen story.